though, have a really good way to maneuver and pick their fights as well. They have a lot of vision that's going to be coming into this game with the Monkey King and with the Night Stalker, so I think it could be a little difficult for TSM FTX. They have to be very careful how they do use these long cooldown ults. Looking at the preparation already, playing versus Doom, we've already seen this so many times. Look at the wards. OG just blocking out their jungle, getting information to make sure that they can see what creep that Doom gets in particular. Because if he gets the mana creep, we've seen what happens. They tend to just crush the lane. And I'm really curious to see what Saberlight's going to do. It's a hero that he's very, very dominant with, as you see. Master tier, it's one of his favorites. And I'm just curious what this hero is going to be able to do in a match like this, when a lane could be a bit difficult. Versus the Monkey King with that built-in sustain. Versus double melee as well.
We'll see if we have any attempts here around the bounty rune. Saberlight won't stick around to try and grab this. Actually try and make a bit of a go onto him. They'll take away half his HP. And overall as well, sort of from game to game for these teams, we saw last time round, as you were pointing towards, TSM FTX, they did such an excellent job of having that sort of vision advantage against OG. When you're playing these sort of grand finals between game 1 and game 2, do you think OG would have had a chance to sort of look at that and be able to sort of take that into account in this second game? Or is it likely that they might struggle with the vision setup that TSM FTX was so good at getting against them?
I think they definitely did. That one ward in particular that was in the dire jungle for the entirety, it kind of crushed OG for 6 minutes. So I really do think that they went back and did their homework. I mean, they're all watching, so they know what was going on in the game. And they did adapt a lot this game, rather than going for a bit of a... You could say that last draft did look a little bit weird because it had Kunkka, Underlord, and Lina. No straight, no straight carry in particular. This time around, they do have that in the Monkey King. Sure. So adaptation was made from OG, but TSM FTX, they've completely changed the way this draft has been too. More like the pressure that they're going to be going for still is a bit similar. Sure, they don't have the Death Prophet, but they have the Nature's Prophet carry that's going to get involved very early for tower pressure.
We're getting a little bit of an XD out here from Tomato on that bottom lane. Some tips as well, going back his way from Amal. Friendly stuff, I'm sure. And so, yeah, from the carry matchup, you know, Tomato on the Prophet. Has this ended up being a game where the Prophet's going to feel pretty strong? I mean, what's he most scared of out of OG's lineup?
It's a bit scary. Night Stalker, Storm, and Monkey King, 3 heroes that can gap close on top of him. It's gonna be a bit difficult for him, but if he tanks up, if he has a good lane, which he should have with this double range versus Night Stalker, he could just be too tanky for them to deal with when he gets his early itemization.
Top lane.
Top.
Good body blocks here from Seb, trying to trap Moon, but the Surge is ready. Saberlight making sure that Moon's able to safely escape. You can continue to keep the pressure on this top lane.
Means Yuragi's going to miss a couple last hits when they go for those aggressive moves.
It's not going to get any easier to commit, especially once they've got the second point in the shell. High chance that unless Yuragi can build up that Jingu and get that burst heal out, the overwhelming damage from a couple of Iron Shells could be a real nuisance for a Monkey King in the laning stage.
Definitely. I mean, level 2 Ion Shell, level 2 Scorched Earth, when they have that online, the damage that rips through is pretty ridiculous. So yeah, they will have to find some way to sustain through it. So Yuragi probably gets that Jingu next, as we expect. Saberlight trying to pull, but the creeps are there. He's gonna have to surge away.
That will mean that OG can maintain control of that. And then over in the mid lane, we saw last game, Bryle, he had a ridiculous time on his Pango. Each and every team fight, being able to get the jump. I imagine as the puck, he's going to sort of have the same focus, right? He's going to look for those backliners, and it's, you know, Seb in particular, he's going to have it out for the Wind Ranger.
Yeah, absolutely. Great control for the Storm, even for that Night Stalker. Night Stalker does not like to be held in position. He likes to be able to like weave in and out of the fights constantly, so versus that puck, Bryle could get a lot of work done. Seeing both of the mid laners trying to stack up their small camps, Bryle will be successful with his.
See top lane Saberlight.
Saberlight.
And he's got the Surge on cooldown. He's probably in trouble here. There you have it. First blood.
This is a tough lane to play. The double melee versus the Monkey King. You're already seeing it build up quickly. Moon has to leave the lane. He's looking for a creep. Can't find the Dream Creep, as we do know. They blocked out a lot of those camps. And
they've been doing a really good job on this Denies top. You see that so far. He's only been able to get 5 CS out of the lane on the darks, yeah.
Yeah, struggling a lot more than the Night Stalker, who's getting a couple last hits just with his Void. Can't really bully Amar out of the lane. They are impacting his CS just because of those double range harassments, but he's got double Bracer. So yeah, tough for Saberlight and Moon. Gonna have to see how they recover up here.
And sort of this time round, would you imagine we'll see Moon hover around the top lane a bit more, or again, is he going to try and leave this lane to Saberlight on his own?
I think he should stay around the top lane a bit more. Already though, he's going to get ganked.
PCM waiting around the tree line for him. Seb's ready to help out as well as Moon. He'll try and get out of it. He'll let out a tornado, but he won't be able to turn anything around. OG, they take him down. Kill for BZM.
Not something you'd expect. Level 4 Storm. Walking over to check the rune, ends up getting a kill like that. It's going to continue to make Saberlight have a very difficult time. And it will get easier, actually, because now Yuragi, he's got the points saved up, so if he sees opportunities for 2 points in Jingu, he'll be able to completely offset the damage that does come between the two of these.
Now, bottom lane Tomato. Oh, my goodness.
TP's out on Intrek.
Yeah,
wow, whoa.
Living on the edge there, will survive.
Much more aggressive lane this time around with the Snapfire in comparison to that Rubik. But still see Tomato free farming.
Now we'll see that TP again, see how low exactly he did get. 2
HP!
HP!
Apologies, he didn't even have the treads. I completed when he back to base. I was like, oh god.
A 2 HP there on the escape. It doesn't get much closer than that.
Stack those branches, people. That third branch made the difference.
Now he's picked up more now. He's got 5 branches to play with.
He had two in his backpack when he was... I think he started the lane with, what, 5 branches and a Blightstone, so just high stats.
See if they can try and get Saberlight. He'll try and surge away, but the shackle's there from Seb. Saberlight in trouble. Boundless at the ready. OG continue to well and truly deal with the top lane Darkseid. They're setting out the tips as well. Over to the mid. Ryle tries a bit of setup here with the Dream Core, but TPs are coming in. Moon, he's got to back off.
Shackle.
They get the shackle again. Steps in. Grabbing the speed creep into the Doom. Locks down Moon Meander. And OG, they are striking back hard here in this game too. 4-0. And already having a great impact across the lanes.
It's really problematic as well, too, because now Doom, if you saw Moon when he entered that fight, he was level 2. So it's a level 1 Scorched Earth doing very little damage, kind of tickling BZM, and that's also going to impact, as we said, Saberlight, only level 4 right now. This is going to be a slow start for the two of them.
They're going to try and look towards him. They have got the control. He's got 10 stick charges and a Fairy Fire. He's going to have the backup from BZM as well. As BZM heads over, Tiger will go down. See if BZM and Seb can get some kills in return out of this. They can. They take out Moon again.
Another rune, too, for mana. Can't continue to go for anything else. But Nighttime has been hit, too, so Amar now will start to even bully Tomato a little bit down here. So lanes look to have gone incredibly well for the side of OG.
Top lane.
Saberlight.
Is going to be able to keep the distance with that last bit of surge duration that he had, but has to be cautious, especially with the phase boots done on Yuragi.
I was about to mention these phase boots as well, too, because most of the time, especially for Monkey King, we always see treads built up, but he's playing versus Nature's Prophet. We've seen the problems come. You get sprouted, you're stuck with phase boots. You can just cut the tree. When the shard comes out, you can just walk through that tree, and so it's an adaptation we've seen a lot of players doing.
Absolutely, and one of the reasons why you're almost certainly going to see him go for that Battle Fury build this game. And he should, he's off to a good start on getting it at a decent time. Second highest on the net worth, just behind BZM Storm.
BZM is massive.
See Seb, he's got to cut his way out of the trees with the power shot. TSM, they'll turn up with the numbers. 4 heroes have a look towards taking down Seb. They'll get him out of their jungle.
And Moon does find the creep, as we do see. So he's got the Dream Creep now. He can potentially maybe look to get some impact. Top, though, is just still so difficult to lane versus this Monkey King. Saberlight is getting some levels, though, so that Ion Shell damage will start adding up. They might have to make a rotation, though, to slow down this Monkey King's farm.
Yeah, Yuragi getting the Void Stone first to make sure he constantly has mana to pretty much spam that Primal Spring every time the creep wave comes in and clear out those Iron Shell creeps very easily.
Lane's having to be broken, though, by TSM FTX. Tomato, he can't lane versus the Night Stalker, has to jungle a bit. Definite problems for them in this
Gonna see
early
the shackle from Seb connect. If we look around the Power Runes going to end up being down on the bottom side of things.
Both teams, the last game, literally were just playing around Power Runes. Almost every single one of those fights we did see around the river around them. So tons of emphasis on it. 2K lead already for OG.
Yeah, BZM and Tiger. Let me see if they can find something on TSM FTX's half of the map. So far, BZM having fantastic involvement in the action. Already 1-0-2 on the mid-storm.
I wonder when they're going to be able to use Saberlight, because he's got Arcane Boots, he's got the level 6 now, but the only person to really carry his Ion Shell this game is him and the Doom. And Moon being so far behind is unbelievably squishy. 4-position Doom, not tanky. Has to buy any type of small item so he can actually carry that Ion Shell in fights.
And again, just the continued space that Yuragi's having. No pressure at all on the Monkey King. And we're going to see that maybe change now. TSM.
They need ults to be able to do things on TSM FTX.
Bringing the numbers top to see if they can take down Uragi. They'll start things up with a Dream Coil, lay down the wall. He should go down here. They've got the burst. They'll take him out. A well-needed move there from TSM FTX. They had to slow down Uragi.
Can they transition it into anything, though? Ideally, they want to try to hit this tower a little bit, but it's a bit difficult. He's already back up in 15 seconds. Probably scared of rotations, too, because Amar, he's gone for a greedy skill build, but he's holding a skill point as well, too, in case he needs Dark Ascension to come join, or he needs the Crippling Fear.
Yeah, Moon's got to be a little careful around how he shows in the mid.
He's so squeezed. He's level 4.
He is, yeah, BZM at level 8. They'll be ready to dive him if they see a chance. And it's got Tomato by his side.
Whoop.
Whoop. That's going to see BZM turn towards Tomato with a slow now. We'll go back with the Vortex onto Moon. Moon very, very dead here as OG continue to feed off the dude.
We'll get some top tower damage, though. Likely to even bring it down. So good move from TSM FTX to use that, use Moon's death to at least get something big out of it. Bottom, Amar.
He's going to get on top of Dubu. It's a crapper fight, slowing down the punches for now, but there is more from OG. Tiger making his way down to help Amar out. Amar, he doesn't even need it. He's able to do it on his own, taking out Dubu, taking the tier 1 tower.
It is such a good Night Stalker game. This is going to be a huge thorn that TSM is going to have to figure out to deal with, because he can just kill, he can get on top of like almost any of these heroes and kill them by himself. This Crippling Fear versus the Nature's Prophet versus Pugna versus Puck.
And OG, this game is them that's getting the fast towers.
Yep.
The second tower taken down in the mid lane. TSM FTX did manage to finish off the one top. OG having the tower advantage, the gold league growing as well. Top lane,
top.
BZM, he'll make the jump here for Saberlight, and he's got enough mana to chase down the Darkseer. Saberlight cannot run.
Solo kill. And now top, the coil's used. Do they have any follow-up, though?
Shackle not going to latch. Braul's going to still continue to attempt to commit onto BZM. But he does not have the damage alone. Dubu and Tomato not quite able to get in position to get any punches in.
They have to be very careful how they use these ults on the side of TSM FTX. If you look at their draft, it's really all relying on ults to be able to catch anybody. OG, they have plethora of stuns, Boundless Strike, Shackles, Cookies, Vortex, etc. TSM, it's literally just really the coil early on. So each time that these do not lead into a kill, it's a lot of downtime where OG just gets to sit back and farm and continue this advantage.
I mean, they're looking towards Amar bottom. Tomato is going to have to back up a Moon and Saberlight. They're going to go straight for it. Drop down the Doom, the wall as well, to try and catch him in the slow. They'll jump forward. He's trapped in the Sprout. He should go down here. No chance for Amar as TSM FTX use their ultimates here to guarantee a kill on a big core. Ryle does all been to this. They've got the control and the damage from the kisses. Ryle,
trouble.
He's going down for that one. OG tripping him up there around the triangle as they see him jumping in with the orb.
It's just easier for them to make these moves when they have just tons of control, ults that they can throw from a distance, power shots, etc. And ooh, look at that stack. I didn't even see the enormous stack that OG does have in their triangle right now, too. Hard camp more, but...
And unlikely to see TSM and FTX be able to get over here and do anything about BZM farming this one, especially with Bryle dead. This is going to continue to push the cause of OG towards some good BKB timings. BZM queuing it up next. Of course, as we saw from Amar, he's pretty much got the gold for the Mithril Hammer. We'll just need the recipe. So they're going to hit this timing where the BKBs will be online. And obviously around that magic immunity, not a lot of damage that TSM FTX can do at this stage of the game.
Oh, I'm quite worried for them. I don't think that this is the way that they wanted to come out of the lanes at all. I think they were the ones who wanted to be the aggressors with Tomato potentially setting up on towers, but they're at a tower disadvantage, and they really do feel completely cooldown reliant. So OG just farming it up. Anytime they see a hero, potentially just going to be able to commit with them without having to do any big commitment of spells.
Trying to push out this bottom lane. They'll easily get the kill out of this one. Uragi with that as well. Pretty much got the Battle Fury gold done. In fact, yeah, it's done. So we're seeing a 13-minute Battle Fury here for him on top of those smaller items, the Phase Boost, the Rave Band. This is a very, very quick start for Uragi.
The chorus too, looking at the levels, level 11 on Storm, 11 on Monkey King, and 10 on Night Stalker.
Yeah, and OG know that TSM are really struggling to deal with the pressure as they immediately smoke up with the three of them. Tiger, Seb, and BZM on the hunt. See who they can catch out of this, TSM. Be sure to stay close to the tower. Do still have Bryle far out on his own. We'll see if he's able to play elusive enough to get out of there. The TP just in time. before OG was able to spot him as he heads back to join the rest of his team, and they'll actually look to go for a smoke up themselves.
They've got Doom back up, so now, as we said, very cooldown reliant. When they have those, they can look for these plays, have to find something big.
Yeah, good damage as well with Bryle having the Witchblade complete.
They have the treants pushing mid too, so if they do get a decent catch, they could transition it into a tower, which they really need.
See what they can get, Seb. Catch up with the silence.
They don't want to commit.
They don't want to use the ult. They'll have to commit in the end to get the kill. Now OG's been able to have the time to turn up and turn things around as Dubu will try and run. They'll get the grab back on Moon. Dubu attempting to heal up with the life drain, but they're in on top of him with the cookie and the spring.
And Bryle.
They'll lose two. Bryle creating some distance here with the Waning Rift. He'll have Orb back up in a second. And Ma, he's going to have that ability to chase, close the gap.
No mana, though.
So Bryle, regen rune at the ready as well. So he'll heal up, and Ma won't manage to chase, but still it's OG taking down two in response of just losing Seb's Wind Ranger.
You could see how hesitant, how reluctant he was. He did not want to have to coil the Wind Ranger. They need to save those for the bigger targets. And OG just keep responding. Now they have nighttime as well, too. That was Dark Ascension used by Amar. Now the next few moments, he's still going to be able to turn up to the fights easily. And BKB is going to be done for him in a second, also for BZM.
And of course for Tomato, he has to get that BKB done before he's ready to sort of TP in and fight back against OG.
He'll just die if he doesn't have it. They have so much nuke damage that can just be thrown onto him. And it's nothing that, like we've mentioned, it's nothing that's like this huge committal either. It's like they can just like scatter blast, power shot, avoid, so many different things that they have. They do have a blink now on Saberlight, so he can get a bit more involved with his teamfight presence.
And again, coil back up, Doom's still ready to go.
Gotta find something. They have to slow down this farm of OG.
Tiger wouldn't be the biggest of catches. They'll settle for him. Tiger.
Oh, they're just, they really don't want to commit any of these spells.
BZM in the mid, he baits out the Dream Coil.
Oh.
He goes straight down the mid lane there, and Bryle tries to react with an ult. Won't quite catch him.
Might be able to turn this into a tower, though. So a good move from TSM FTX. Even though they did use that coil, they still have Doom in case something does go down. And Saberlight, he only had to commit Vacuum for the kill for the snap, so they can still look to keep hunting.
Yeah, being able to get out and onto OG's side of the map whilst they are down as a team, TSM FTX is impressive. They're close to having the Blink Dagger money for Moon, so multiple ways to get that instant jump. Obviously, the top priority being the core heroes, especially the Storm and the Monkey King. A stage of the game still where if either of those get doomed, they're almost certainly going to die.
Absolutely. Moon needs to find a Centaur. This is where a little bit of the game dynamic can change for TSM FTX. Once he has a Centaur creep, he's Ion Shell, they have Vacuum. They have an extra way to fight easier without a big ultimate as Dubu.
He's got the pick pole.
He's tanking it up.
They're going to drop the kisses to try and finish him off. We'll see how well Dubu can dodge these. Nice little bit of sidestepping as he won't get out though.
Oh, he did get brought down.
And at the same time, also losing Saberlight here. Zeb.
Bryle.
They're on top of him as well. In with the silence. Amar, he's ready to commit with the BKB. Stay on top of Bryle. Bryle will attempt to get out of there. He's got another orb, but the punches from Amar's Night Stalker, too much for the puck to withstand. There's 3 dead on TSM FTX again. The remaining 2 just having to retreat. Yuragi even thinking about chasing on for Moon there. So OG continue to grow their lead, 15-6, 5K up.
Hard for TSM FTX to run in there. The reveal of the BKBs so early on from OG, as you mentioned before. Pretty much nothing that TSM FTX draft besides that Doom can really do versus those BKBs early. We do see the shard picked up though. Nature's Prophet Tomato is gonna start to whittle down these towers.
Just sort of the struggles for TSM that the other 2 cores starting to fall behind a little bit. And Saberlight, he's had a tough game so far as Darkseer. Very slow start in the lane.
Almost a 3rd BKB done now too. Yuragi's about to have it. Fights are gonna get very complicated. They need to get some type of Dream Initiation, a Vacuum into a... I think Moon can't find... I actually think he just killed the Centaur. Okay, didn't have Devour up, but he really needs to find the Centaur creep I was mentioning. Yeah. Just having this follow-up stun or any ways to initiate besides just Coil.
Sure. Because yeah, at the moment, the Coil really being the only thing that can capitalize on a good Vacuum.
And now they have BKBs, so it's like they can just walk out of it. So they need some type of actual control because it's just not there. Their whole lineup doesn't have anything like that. Yeah,
Moon's got to be able to get his Doom off every time. If he doesn't Doom a target, I see little ways that they can win a team fight against OG.
Here I am.
Even if they get the Dooms off, I mean, they really need to start getting some big connections with those ults because they're starting to fall pretty far behind.
Yeah, Tomato doing a good job of keeping up with the farm of Yuragi, considering Yuragi got such a quick timing on the Battle Fury.
But Yuragi has better core matchups. That's the thing. Tomato's core matchup can be pretty difficult this game. BZM?
It will pop the BKB there. Doom is going to be thrown down, but they won't be able to do anything with that. At the least, it will stop BZM from being able to chase them down, give them the space to back off. But that is the Doom on cooldown.
At least the BKB was used. Some type of silver lining there for TSM FTX. Perhaps could use something to find the storm afterwards now.
Gonna see this
top.
Gonna see if they can keep this puck locked down. Stun into Decrepify though from Dubu. Dubu will allow Brian to escape.
No, he gets
my power shot! Oh, Seb! What an angle there, getting him right at the edge, and now with the Gale Force, he's even going to look for more. Tomato has got the BKB, has to pop it to have a chance of surviving. He'll try and stand his ground against Seb, beating into the Wind Ranger, quickly off to the side, but Seb does fall. Tomato opts to TP out with the range of the BKB, so Tomato at least able to bring down Seb and get out of there in return.
Big jump.
Oh, he's looking for stable like BZM, he's in. Look at the grab, Moon, trying to have over the barrel. Oh my goodness!
And now Tomato, he rejoined.
Through them, he's trying to get in, but now his BKB's on cooldown. They're looking to dive him. They're past the tier 3s. You know, Amar, he wants to keep going. The kiss is coming in. Dubu doing his best to try and save Tomato, get Tomato back to base. But Amar, he'll just turn, take out Dubu beyond the fountain, around the fountain here. See if Amar's able to get out. He should be fine. He's still got BKB.
He'll got it, and the TP.
TP's ready as well. Amar, he'll get out of there. They cannot punish him.
Oh, what a play. OG really starting to run away with things. Tomato does live, but does cost Dubu his life again. Having to bail out his teammates.
I mean, probably feeling like, you know, in that lane, they still have the tier 1, the tier 2, the tier 3. He felt that he was in a safe spot to be, but as you can see, when OG gets ahead of you, there's very little places on the map that are safe, even inside your own base.
So much chase. Monkey King plus Storm plus Night Stalker can just relentlessly go for these, and yeah, look at this. The power shot on the side of the screen does clip Ryle.
And right on the edge there, Seb. He's been allowed his Wind Ranger, and he's landing those sort of shots. You know, we've seen it from the Shackles, but he's showing us the power shots can be pretty darn good as well.
I'm really surprised Moon still hasn't found a Centaur, or just opting to not go for it.
TSM FTX will hit back with the smoke. They're trying to make this move. Some of their ults still on cooldown, though. They'll get the jump straight away.
Great back.
Catch. They manage to burst through Seb and Tiger. They quickly catch the 2 supports. They're taken out of the game. A good move for TSM FTX as they get straight back in.
They need to threaten. Ooh. Okay, nice little Centaur. I think they have to threaten Roche. Yeah, they're pinging it out. I think they have to try to get something out of the fact that 2 heroes are dead. It's daytime as well. No Dark Ascension.
Okay.
They have to go for some type of big play.
Has been caught by the scan. BZM, I believe he just picked up an Arcane Rune.
Oh, he's zipping.
He's
zipping.
It's a long zip.
It's a long one.
He's going all the way. Woo! Okay, they tried to see if they could catch him, but it was a zip TP, so BZM's fine. He'll refuel. He's going to go for round 2 down the mid. I mean, that zip alone has scared TSM FTX. They're slowing down their efforts around committing for Roshan. They're going to see if they can get kills instead. As they go towards Yuragi, but the BKB's out from BZM. He's straight onto Dubu. Wants to get rid of the Pugna. The kiss is coming in over towards Stable. Like BZM gets the double. We've got Doom in trouble as well. Moon cannot escape this as OG take down the 3 of them.
And now they'll get the Roche themselves. Oh, devastating for TSM FTX.
They do still have Bryle.
He can't.
At the moment, but it doesn't look like he's going to try for a steal. Backing away, Tomato as well, also wanting to have no part of this one. He's working on the bottom lane, trying his best to get that next item done after the BKB. He's looking for the AC.
They had this small potential window to try to get for this Roche, but OG respond with full force. And now Dark Ascension's back up, so they're looking to fight themselves, OG. And with a Roche and Aegis now and Yuragi, heavily in the lead.
The items continuing to fly out for OG. Seb's got his Blink Dagger done. They've got to be prepared for those shackle shots that we've got so used to seeing from him.
And look at BZM, just perfect targets this time. Getting Saberlight as well as Dubu. Even though the ward is there, they don't care. They're that much stronger now at this moment.
No, this is definitely going to be the move from OG. You have to go for Dubu first. We've seen how good of a player Dubu is on the Pugna. The last game, countless times with the save. Even in this one, bailing heroes out like Tomato in that instance where OG was diving. You've got to get rid of Dubu first. Otherwise, he's going to be having the potential to turn the fight around with those saves.
It's a lot easier for them this time, too, because they just have, like we said, multiple heroes that just gap close, get on top of him. Dubu, not even with the Glimmer Cape yet, very poor.
They'll start to show themselves up top again, TSM FTX. OG, they'll certainly want to take a fight out of this. Seb tries with the jump, but he's going to get caught in the sprout himself. Gets vacuumed back, Seb in trouble. They'll try and cookie him to safety, but the Nature's Wrath comes crashing through. Tomato takes Seb down.
It was a BKB from Tomato, and BZM's in.
He's still trying to fight this. You see Dubu again attempting to save Sable over the scatter blast down onto the two of them. BZM continuing to clean up the kills.
And this is all before 25 minutes, Owen. Those nulls are about to kick in. Level 19 now in this Storm, 24 minutes in.
Well, 7-0-10. He is having a fantastic time in this one. Last game, it very much was Bryle stealing the show. This time, on the side of OG, BZM leading the way.
And looking like it could potentially be smooth sailing as this continues too. A full Aghanims now for Yuragi. They're all so farmed. And the levels too. Level 21 on the Monkey King. It's 24 minutes in. Nearly keeping up with the game time.
Tomato is very close to having the AC. It's going to be very handy in helping deal with the amount of physical damage that Yuragi's going to be able to set up across the team fight when the Wukong's command goes down. And he's, again, sort of amongst all the chaos, Tomato keeping it on par with the farm of Yuragi. It is impressive, but in terms of how easy of a game it is for a carry prophet against a carry Monkey King in this sort of scenario, it's not easy at all for Tomato. He's really got his work cut out.
It really feels like all three of the cores kind of counteracting. Sure, the Sprout Leash is going to be effective versus the Storm in some instances, but it's still not enough. But somehow Tomato is still 2-0-4. It's actually really impressive that he hasn't died yet this game.
OG quite able to catch Saberlight. This time around, Dubu also might just be safe here. Bryle jumps back in. Seb trying to get Dubu back in position. He's able to run against the wind, get back to the safety of the tier 2 and the rest of his team. How long have they got left on the Aegis still? Yuragi, a couple of minutes that they can look to play with this one.
Nighttime as well, so it does feel difficult for TSM FTX to get out on the map. And this game, as we mentioned last one a lot, it was a vision control. This time OG has been dominant on that one. TSM FTX only have one defensive ward at the moment. And when it's nighttime, it's very spooky when you're playing versus Night Stalker. You have no idea which angle they can come from, even versus Monkey King too.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
So here on the wars destroyed this game round. Tiger doing an excellent job of shutting down the map, shutting down the vision that TSM FTX are trying to get out against the pressure, the control that OG's been able to have here as there's no real safe spot of the map. You see TSM FTX trying to clear their triangle. They have to do it as a 5-man.
Yuragi.
Oh, he's going to jump in. See if they can poke anything out of him, but he's playing it cool with the Aegis. He knows that it's not really too much of a risk of going down twice. They'll drop the wall. See if they can even take him down the once with the Dream Coil again. And the illusions. That'll be the Aegis gone. But already, with the time that's passed, OG, they've been able to turn up and back him up. So Yuragi more than fine on the second life.
And now they know there's no
about
coil.
To go in a minute anyway.
Yeah, and now there's no coil, there's no wall either, so OG probably gonna sweep the map. Just don't let them farm, just look for these kills after kills. As they have vision too, Bryle has to be careful right now.
And now BZM with that Lincoln's much tougher of a target for Moon to try and find those opportunities to get the Doom down on the Storm.
Great Lincoln's game. It's either Doom or Decrepify Sprout. Like there's pretty much all the big things that could trip up BZM. I say the Sprout because Tomato getting close to 20. A very good Lincoln's pick up. Oh, Tomato has to BKB immediately.
BKB CP, Tomato making sure that he continues to stay alive as long as possible. You say still yet to die this game. Tomato really keeping his cool in a very, very difficult game so far.
Another sweep, OG. I think they're likely to just even run into the enemy ancient high ground.
Radiant's bottom tower.
Tomato, no BKB. TSM FTX cannot fight without it. Doom, Moon still has not gone for... I'm actually very surprised he did not go for Sentinel Creep. I'm going to keep reiterating, because I think with the combos that you can do, it's the way that you can trip it up versus those BKBs, but really just wanting this mana aura.
It can be very nice for it to have that sort of AoE stun to follow up when you get the lead in on a hero like the Storm, right? Especially once the Storm has the Lincolns.
It's something we used to see all the time. It was one of the priorities for those Dooms when it was picked so prevalently in the past. As bottom, it's an Arcane Rune for BZM.
He's going to be happy with that one. If he sees it, it's just on the edge of the vision though, so... You might have seen it there with the pass-by of the Zip. OG, the smoke here from Tiger, Seb, and Yuragi. As they know that TSM FTX has started to make their way back out on the map, and they are relatively split up. Already they were seeing the TPs back to base. Yeah. They know as soon as they've given that sort of information up, they can't hang around. They know that OG will immediately make that sort of move towards them.
They can't, like Amar just shows his face because he's the he's the tankiest one on the team, so they can't really commit on him either. Because if they do throw anything, he just BKBs and resets. Yuragi off
They're
the
going to
mark.
find Dubu stepping forward. Brao's going to try and help out here as he'll jump in with the silence onto Seb. But they've lost Dubu. Seb should tick out pretty low. No, he's actually going to live. Saberlight gets him with the vacuum, but he couldn't quite catch Seb. He's ready to fight. He's in under the tier 2, committing him with a BKB. He'll turn over towards Saberlight, take out the Darkseer. Dubu's brought back. TSM FTX, can they really punch back in this fight? Bryle forward, he'll get caught by the Scalabus into the Cookie Tiger, locking him down. Dubu trying to heal up the puck, but Amar's in on top of him with the silence. Bryle goes down, zip forward from BZM, they have the control on towards Dubu. Tomato plus the BKB, trying to get out, but the bash is there. Triple kill from Amar, zip over from BZM towards Moon. OG, they get the team wipe.
Whoa. The BKB bought for the puck to attempt to defend himself versus these silence, and he still just can't. And definitely seeing that Arcane Rune come into play. Yuragi, a perfect positioning to miss the Boundless Strike at the initial start of the fight, but Wukong's completely surrounding Dubu.
We'll see it again here, Bryle. I mean, locked down perfectly by Tiger, and Dubu really trying to do his best to save the heroes around him, but only so much he can do. And Tomato, for all the farm he has, the difficulties of being a carry prophet, especially once a Basher is online on the Night Stalker, is very much showing. There's just no way for him to stand his ground and try and carry against the heroes that OG have farmed up.
It really does feel like the impossible game for the Nature's Prophet versus those 3 cores. And now with the supports being so farmed on OG as well too, you're seeing Taiga with this blink near a BKB. They can also get into the face of these heroes. More control, more follow-up. Yeah, looking harder and harder. As I'm gonna take a glance, this win probability, it's kind of how you'd expect it to be. I think we can show this one. It's 98% right now for OG.
Yeah, they've got to look for some real big brain moves here. TSM FTX, they want to turn this around. Look for chances where maybe OG slip up, let a hero out on their own. But so far in this game too, those sort of scenarios just haven't occurred. OG coming back very well composed after an incredibly rough game 1 against TSM FTX. This game 2, it's just been completely flipped on its head in comparison.
31-11, I mean, easy for them to set up those kills. And the thing is, like, sometimes you can count as this Darkseer to bring the game back for you because he has a good matchup versus the carry, like it's a Medusa or Terrorblade or something like that, where the illusion's gonna be amazing, your punch, your wall. He's versus a Monkey King. It's not really that great. This Monkey King's not gonna really care about it. It's also just gonna die almost instantly versus the build that this Monkey King does have. Level 25 already on Yuragi with a Nullifier now.
See the smoke here from TSM FTX. Another bad team fight could mean that we'll start seeing them drop in the Gs. We'll see them attempt to get in onto Seb, but Seb turns with the shackles. Saberlight jumps in and with the vacuum control on Yuragi, but the BKB's out from Yuragi. He'll look to try and run down Saberlight. Saberlight pops the BKB, but they're in on top of him. They take him out. Dubu's caught in the pit. 2 dead on TSM FTX.
Bryles is dead too.
Shackles there, locking down Moon. It's going to be 4 dead again on TSM FTX as OG overrun them.
Look at the damage from Amar there. Plus 264 on the Night Stalker. He literally just killed the puck through the BKB. Just one bash into another hit. Tomato has hit the 20, so he has the Sprout leash, but does not feel like it's going to do much of anything. Also a base ward.
Yeah, it's got to be so careful. They're their own base at this stage, not even a safe spot here for TSM FTX. You know that OG, they'll be ready to jump in, whether it'll be off a tree from Yuragi or a zip 4 from PZM or Amar just heading straight in with the ultimate.
Really feels like a flip from that last game. No way that TSM FTX ever have a chance to fight and win a 5v5 team fight while OG just dominates every single one of them.
And I think, Amar in particular, he's going to be feeling very good about this game. He was targeted so heavily during the draft phase. Goes for his Night Stalker, something I believe we haven't seen for at least 5 months. OG play with Amar on 9-1-5. It's just been the perfect hero each and every time, getting on top of Bryle on Dubu. They just can't cast a single spell. Dubu, they'll try and head out, but immediately BZM's on top of him. Saberlight as well. He can't run. Moon will get in with the Doom, but the BKB's already out on Yuragi. There's going to be no chance of any follow-up damage to threaten this Monkey King. Moon will manage to live, but again, it's just 2 heroes down, and TSM FTX unable to take anything in return from OG.
And that's, Doom used, and they're massive. A full Aghanim's Blessing for BZM now too, so those fights, it's going to be even more of a mollywhopping, really, if he does get on top of them and get the multi-vortex.
The OG, they can look to hold back for the next Roche.
They're cruising now, Owen. This is just, this is smooth sailing. TSM FTX, it really feels like there's not much of anything they can do.
Yuragi. Look at the jump on Bryle. He has got BKB and an orb up. And the blink. Will be away in time. Also,
Coil's off.
Dream Coil. It doesn't catch him. And of course, no further stun here. So Bryle, he'll make it out alive this time. Target. You'll see the Roshan. OG, they can look to move over for this one. The question is whether TSM FTX will be able to challenge this at all, or if they've just got to wait for the fight to be brought to their base.
No way can they challenge that Roche fight. They can't even leave their base at the moment.
Seb just chilling on the cliff here.
He's been there a while.
Amar.
Over a minute. Enjoying the view.
I mean, he knows as long as TSM FTX are kept held on the high ground, very little progression is going to be happening at all from any of their heroes.
And Dubu can never save anybody ever again, too, because there's double nullifiers now on the side of OG.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
They're going to try and make their way out, see if they can get some sort of control back in their own jungle.
We'll go get an outpost. Okay. But on to Roche. And it's a freebie.
Yeah, they'll know what's going on, but no chance of making a move over towards him. They'll just have to do their best to prepare for the high ground defense. It's not going to be an easy one. As we've seen already, I think 15 minutes ago, OG, they were already diving the base. Now 35 minutes in and with a 25k lead and an Aegis, I wouldn't be surprised if we see all 5 of OG collapsing into the base and fighting TSM FTX all the way back to their fountain.
And it really always says something when, even when it's daytime, the TSM FTX has no way to potentially be able to fight versus the Night Stalker. Now it's night, level 23. It's go time for OG.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Saberlight in a very
Look at the jump.
difficult spot.
Bash into the shackle, not a chance for Saberlight to live. Out for a minute and no buyback available. Short on the gold after he spent up for that BKB. So a big window here for OG to get the push going. They brought the mid lane and the top lane coming in.
Could be 2 Raxes here. 2 sets, that is. The Darkseer is kind of the most important tool for their team fight right now.
With how farm their cores are, the base dying in a matter of seconds. The mid is cleared up. They'll turn towards the top, take the tier 2. Riley has got the coil dropped down onto Seb. They can finish off the Wind Ranger, at least they can, but Amar and BZM will make sure they get the revenge here for Seb as they take out Bryle. Moon, he'll attempt to run, hide up on the cliff, but they've got vision on him. He goes down, godlike for Amar. As the rest of OG, Yuragi working on this top lane.
He doesn't even have to go back. 2 teammates show, or 3 teammates show on the opposite side of the map, and he's just still able to hit towers like this. 3 dead. Tomato has to be so careful how close he goes.
When they're going in, Tomato will stand his ground with the BKB, turn towards Misha. Misha able to jump out in time with that cookie. Not even he will fall here to the damage of the carry Prophet.
Misha? Misha turned up.
the Tiger. Tiger, of course, represented him here with the hashtag. And now, this top lane, this top Rax, they'll have Moon back up in 15, but no puck. Holding onto the buyback here, Bryle. They'll let a second set fall to OG.
And Moon did, now, 20 minutes later, he did find the Centaur creep, but at this point, the game is impossible. It's been impossible really for the last 20 minutes.
We'll see if they can land one combo.
Let's see.
Maybe
they need
one
a 5-man.
final ride here for TSM FTX. See if they can get the vacuum into a hoof stomp. Down 34k. Let's see what they can do. Look at the jump in, the punch onto Yuragi. Let's see if they can burst through in the ones. The kiss is already coming out from the side. Yuragi is going to start healing up the illusion. Turns with the boundless strike onto Dubu. Dubu falls to the kisses. Yuragi will continue working on the barracks.
They're way too far.
They'll take the nether ward out. Brawl will jump in with the BKB over towards Tiger, but there's the zip forward straight away on towards Saberlight. Buyback comes out. BZM has been caught. There's the jump. Moon will be able to get him with the stun. They've taken out BZM. They'll turn their attention over towards Yuragi. He's also surrounded by the Sprout. He goes down the once, but there's a dieback from Saberlight. We'll see with the remaining 3 members, they can take out Yuragi a second time, but no, the BKB's up. Amar and Yuragi get straight on top of Moon. They turn towards Tomato.
Oh, he is so dead.
But the bashes are there from Amar. Tomato out of the game. GG is 4.